Hey you guys, happy Friday. I'm gonna give everybody a second to hop on. Sorry, I'm a squirrel, so if I get notifications, then I'm gonna do my best to try and not pay attention to them. So I'm gonna wait for everybody just 1 second here. How are you guys doing this Friday? If you are catching the live recording of this, drop a 1 down below. If you are catching the recording of this, drop a 2 down below. So that way we know that you're here, that you've checked it out, so that way you don't miss it or anything like that. So I'm gonna give everybody just 1 second. I'm gonna preface this by saying 2 things here. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at my notes or the baby monitor. I'm trying to get this done before the baby wakes up. So let's just hope she does not wake up during this. And then I'm gonna preface this when I say, I get extremely passionate and I talk with my hands a lot. I get really excited and I will try my best not to say any swear words. My deepest apologies if one slips out. I get extremely passionate and some swear words just like happen to slip out. So hope you guys are having a good Friday so far. So I got asked to speak about, keeping your coaches engaged and excited. And this is something that has come like almost like a new, I don't want to say habit, but more so like a newfound energy for me and my team after being a coach for almost 2 years now. So just before I dive in, a little bit about me. I have been a coach for almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in July. Oh my goodness, 2 years in July. So I've gone through, just like many other top coaches or just many coaches, period, you go through a lot of trial and error. So I come up with these top 5 tips on how to, keep your coaches engaged, keep them excited, and really just things that have worked for me, and really just seeing the movement within the last 5 months in my business. Hey girl. So excited to see you guys popping on. Okay, cool, I'm not alone. All right, so top 5 tips. I'm gonna go through 5 of these for you guys. Number 1, be personable and communicate. Side story about me, I have a comm degree, a bachelor's in communications, so it's like my jam. I'm gonna give you guys all of my gold and my comm nerding out. Number 2, consistency and leading from the front. Number 3, keep it simple. Number 4, give them freedom to be resourceful. That's a big one, you guys. And number 5, recognition. So let me go through every single one of these. As you guys have questions, I'll make sure that I try and get them as best as I possibly can. All right, so the first thing, be personable and communicate with them. As you guys know, we're in a people business, right? So you have to build a relationship with them before and after. Just because they sign up doesn't mean you're like, all right, cool, they're through the funnel. That doesn't mean you stop communicating with them. The biggest thing that I've learned is that you have to continue to almost recruit them when they're on the other side of that sign up, because they want to know that number 1, you're here for them, and number 2, that they have that freedom to communicate with you if they have any questions. What I've learned is that, a lot of the times we want to keep moving, which is great. We want to grow our team. We want to continue to build our business, right? But you still have to give them some of your time because they believed in you. They believed in you enough to say, okay, I trust this girl. I want to sign up with her. I want to do what she's doing. So you have to communicate with them. And that's one thing that I've really learned is communicating with them individually. But on top of that, you have to communicate your vision continually, not just on your social media, but once they get on the other side, share your goals with them, communicate with them. You guys, I'm so excited because this is what our team can accomplish. This is what I want to accomplish in my life. And I hope to inspire you to do something that's so grand and so great for you in your business too. And for example, our team is pushing for elite this year. So I communicate with them. I say, okay, you guys, this is what we need for elite, but this has absolutely nothing to do with me and everything to do with you and your goals. Let's do it together. I want to do this hand in hand with you guys. So constantly communicate, your vision with them, constantly communicate your excitement, because that is the reason they got started with you in the first place, is because they believed in you. They believed in your vision. So that's the first thing. And another thing that I've really learned is being able to be honest with them. Be flat out honest with them. I feel like a lot of the times as a new coach, we can get into this thinking like, okay, maybe if I just rely on my upline, maybe if I just rely on her success, that'll kind of ease me into it. But one thing I encourage you to do right now, it does not matter if you've been a coach for 5 minutes, it does not matter if you've been a coach for 5 years, whatever. Be honest with yourself and saying, okay, I am capable enough to lead a team of women. And the more you start to tell yourself that, not only will you believe it, but they will start to believe in you too, because you're leading from the front, which I'll get to in just a second. But, communicate with them. I feel like oftentimes we like to lean on our upline success, right? I know I did. I leaned on my upline and said, oh, can I get in your sneak peek? Or, oh, can I just share, whatever you're sharing? But the moment you take ownership and start to communicate with them saying, hey, this is what worked for me in my business today, they're going to be like, okay, well, if she's doing it, I could do it too. And that is probably one of the most beneficial things if you are a new coach. Utilize that to your advantage, saying, hey, I'm gonna learn alongside you, girl. Let's do the dang thing together, okay? So utilize language and, being honest with them, and the language that you do use will definitely play into that. You don't have to have like this perfect training program. I mean, there are things that I definitely utilize for my upline, for example. I utilize her training program because right now my focus needs to be grow on my team. And then from there, later on, I'll be able to do that for myself. But being able to utilize the resources that you have, but use your voice. That's the key thing right there. Use your voice. That's going to, have that kind of connection with your coaches, so that way they know, okay, I'm doing this alongside her. I want to follow her. I want to follow in her first footsteps, because like I said a second ago, being able to share your vision consistently, they signed up with you for a reason. They didn't sign up with your upline. They didn't sign up with the millionaires in this club. They signed up with you. So just know that they want to follow you and your vision and your voice, okay? So next thing, trust is instilled after you build this relationship. They have this trust. They have this, free will to say, hey, Gab, can you help me out with this? Hey, Gab, what do you think about this? And that way you start to develop this bond with them as a mentor. We are their mentor. We're not their boss, but we are their mentor. They obviously want direction from us. They want to know what to do to become successful, but at the same time, instilling that mutual communication and relationship with them will definitely build that trust between you and them, just like any other relationship in your life, you guys. You can't just expect them to hop on and have all of this I guess the best word to say it is trust. The trust with you without communicating with them, saying, hey, these are the things that you need to do. These are the things that are going to make you successful. This is what I've done, and be really honest and transparent with them. That's one thing that has really helped me within the last few months, is saying, okay, I struggled with this, but I want you to be able to succeed faster, or this is where I'm at right now, and this is what I'm doing to change it, and being really flat out honest with them. And then lastly, what I've noticed is, for me personally, like I said at the beginning, I'm a communications nerd. I have a bachelor's in communications and interpersonal communications. So, one thing that I have found extremely helpful, you might not do this and this might not work for you, and that's totally okay, but what I found, that works for me is utilizing that one-on-one time with them. When they get started as a new coach, I communicate with them one-on-one so they get that undivided attention, and then from there, once they start to move and groove, for example, once they hit Emerald and they're hitting Success Club, then I give them a little bit more of my time, because they're getting it. And that doesn't say the coaches that aren't clicking right away, that doesn't mean that I don't communicate with them, but more so seeking out the ones that are working, which I'll get to in a second. So that's point number one. Number two, consistency and leading from the front. Girlfriend, if you are not showing up every single day, if you're not being a product of the product, if you're not sharing your excitement, if you're not hyped up about your own dreams and vision, then how do you expect your team to do the same? So you have to get really dang excited. You have to get really dang clear about what you want from this business, how you're going to do it, and share that with your team consistently, because they are watching you. They are watching you on a day-to-day basis. So, the moment, like I said, when they get signed up, if you start to pull back, or if you start to have negative feelings, or if you start to get frustrated, they're watching you do that. Or if you stop doing the vitals, they're gonna watch you. So leading from the front and being consistent is hands down a top factor in being able to get your coaches, on board. So my top tips for that: show up daily, consistency is key, and I'm sure you've heard that over and over again, but it is. It's such a watered down term, but at the same time, it's a vital factor in your business. If you just decide, you know what, no, I don't really feel like showing up today on social media, guess what your team's gonna do later on down the road, or right then and there in that moment? They're not gonna show up. They're not gonna show up for you. They're not gonna show up for, their dreams or anything, because that's how you're leading by example. Second thing is, your energy matters. Now, this goes to say, we all have bad days, but bring your A game where it's needed. Bring your A game to your team and saying, you know what, I might be struggling with this today, but I'm super excited because I know I have the power to change that. I know I have the power to, do whatever I want in this business and control my mindset and everything in between. So your energy does matter. And the best way to change this, you guys, is by doing personal development. Hands down. I was listening to Les Brown, and the first thing you should do in the morning is listen to personal development, whether you're on the way to work, whether you are just at home. For me, instead of listening to music during my workout, I've been doing personal development and listening to Les Brown, for example. What you hear within the first 20 minutes of your day is going to set the tone of your day. So if you're seeking motivation, if you're seeking energy, that's my top tip. Listen to personal development the first 20 minutes of your day. All right, the third thing, show them success. Don't just tell them. I feel like oftentimes we can be like info hoarders and, telling our teams, okay, this is what you need to do. This is what is going to make you successful. Do the vitals, hit Success Club, hit Emerald. And then we're not showing them what that looks like. And we wonder why. Okay, why aren't they moving? Why aren't they excited? Why aren't they hitting Success Club? Well, if you're not doing the things, if you're not hitting Success Club, if you're not moving your business forward by going Emerald and Diamond and beyond, then how are you going to expect your team to do the same exact thing? So instead of just saying, these are the things to be successful, show them how to be successful. Show them what's possible for them in this business and lead by example. And that goes back to not relying on your upline success. 9 times out of 10, I feel like we can look at our upline or whoever it may be and saying, okay, well, we have millionaire earners in this business, like look what's possible. But they want to know how it's possible for you and what it's doing for you in your life. So making it a priority to focus on your business first and then say, hey guys, I hit Success Club and this is how I did it. I paid off my student loans, this is how I did it. And sharing them your experience because, like I said, they signed up for you. They signed up for you to be their coach and their mentor and show them the way, not the other people that you might be using as an example. Okay, the last thing is set expectations. Set expectations for them and saying, okay, this is exactly how you're going to be successful. And it's going to lead me into these next 2 points, which is keeping it simple for them and also, sharing with them, they have the freedom to be resourceful. So first things first, keep it simple. Cut out the fluff. Cut out the fluff and saying, okay, this is exactly how you become successful. You do the vitals, you do your business activity tracker every single day. Cross off everything on this list every single day, and you hit Success Club, period. Once they grasp that concept, you say, okay, girl, it's time to go Emerald. It's time to set your sights on dreaming big and utilizing these ranks to reach your income goals and help more people. And keeping it extremely straightforward to them because for example, my upline is Mandy Kai, and then her upline is Angie Bellamere, and we have incredible resources. A lot of us have incredible resources right in front of us that we want to be like, this is how you do social media, this is how you do this, da-da-da-da-da, and then kind of word vomit on them and saying, this is all that I know, and this is all that you need to know because it's going to make you successful because it's made me successful, and then they're just overwhelmed. They're like, oh my God, there's so many resources. I know that as a new coach, we can feel that way, right? We can feel like there's so many resources that we don't know how to communicate that with our coaches. But you guys, cutting the fluff and being straightforward, saying these are the things that are going to produce you an income, period. Once you master those, let's chat a little bit, and then we could talk about finding your brand on social media or whatever kind of fluffy thing that can help you grow your business on social media. So, keep it straightforward for them. Don't overtrain them, you guys. Although we do have resources, this is exactly what I tell my coaches. I say, all right, feel blessed instead of overwhelmed because some teams don't have this many trainings. And, being able to say, okay, we have incredible uplines to support us, digest it, implement it, and then go back to it as something to fall back on rather than feeling like you have to do information overload. Fun fact, another fun fact, I tend to go off on a tangent, you guys, I apologize. But, I have a minor in psych, and one thing that I, learned through that process of being able to learn how our communication and our mind go together is that if you overtrain yourself and if you overtrain them, then they're not going to retain any of that information. And then they are going to become overwhelmed because you're giving them so much that it's not going to be clear to them what they need to do to start out and to build that momentum and to keep that excitement. Is this business hard work? Yes, it sure is, but it's simple. It's simple. They created this for us to keep the simplicity in our business and saying you don't need to do all that fluff. You don't need to do all the things that aren't going to serve your business as a brand new coach. You just need to be a product of the product and be dang excited to share that with other people, period. And then when you grow your team, sure, you can get creative with it. That's fun. I got creative with it. I love graphics, but that's something that I didn't focus on from the very start. I started recruiting, talking to people, being a product of the product, and leading by example. Okay. So the fourth thing is give them the freedom to be resourceful. And I love this one because I feel like we oftentimes, and I made this mistake quite some time, oftentimes we want to lead from the back. We want to push our coaches saying, come on, you got this, you can do this. But one thing that I've learned is that the more you have to push them from the back, the more you're gonna have to do that for them the entire time. Are we here to guide them and mentor them? Absolutely. But work with the working, work with the ones that are excited and just as eager as you, and the ones that aren't working, they'll either catch up or they'll fall off. And that's just a sign to say they weren't your people, and that's totally okay, because you wanna build this empire. You wanna help other coaches that are just like you, eager, excited to learn, wanna keep moving and grooving. So don't stop for anybody. Don't stop for anybody. Doesn't mean to say that you can't help them, give them some insight, but work with the working. And this kind of just goes back to this point, give them resourcefulness to take ownership of their business. This is one thing that I found at the beginning that was extremely helpful. My upline, she sent me the new coach training, and I blew through it in 3 days because I was super eager and excited to learn. And that's exactly the expectation that I set with my coaches, and saying, all right, here's our 2-week training, but you can probably blow through it in 3 days if you're really excited about earning your income and helping other people. And I let them know that right from the get-go. So from the beginning, they have ownership to be resourceful. And that's something I also say in my new coach call. I say, all right, one of the best things I did for my business was taking ownership of it by being resourceful. Yes, I'm here to support you. Yes, I'm here to answer your questions, but 9 times out of 10, the answer you're looking for is in one of these 4 sources: Google, YouTube, the back office, or our new coach training. So if you can't find it there, then come to me, because girl, I'm here to help you, but at the same time, you're gonna be able to develop these leadership skills that you want to lead a team, to help other people, and step into the person that you do wanna be. So, it gives them ownership over their business, because we all got into this to be our own boss in some way or another. So, the more you give them resourcefulness and let go of their hand and saying, okay, I'm gonna, continue to strive towards my goals, and you can either hop on and be right there next to me, or, whenever you're ready, you can hop on too. But I'm not stopping. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep moving and grooving, and you can come with me if you want. I'm super excited if you do. So, kind of going back with the resourcefulness, gives them ownership, gives them empowerment, you guys. How empowering does it feel to know that you're the owner of your own business? So why not pay that feeling forward to your coaches as well? And then last thing, it teaches them independence, that they don't have to rely on you forever, that they have the ownership of their business and their life, period. That's kind of the moral of the resourcefulness, you guys. And if we want to if we hold their hand, and if we push them from the back, then not only are we kind of wasting our time, but we're also, kind of be extremely exhausted. I know, I did it for a year. I've done it with coaches before, and I push them from the back, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting. You want to lead from the front, and you want to say, come on girl, let's go. You want to come with me? Here's the resources that you have. Take advantage of that, and do the best that you can. I'm here to support you. Let's go. Hop on the train. And then the last thing is recognition. You guys, this one has been huge for me and my team specifically. One thing that I did in my team page, I think it was back in January or February, I put up a poll. And saying, how do you like to be recognized? One-on-one calls, money, prizes, shout outs. And what this did, it was opening up my eyes to saying, okay, this is what makes my team thrive. This is what makes my team, move and groove, and what motivates them to do better. And what I've learned is that they like recognition, and they also like one-on-one calls as well. They like that undivided attention and undivided, kind of like notification saying like, okay, you're doing a great job, and kind of that validity to saying, okay girl, keep going, you're on the right track, you're moving and grooving in the right way. So recognition, see, these are some of the things that I do. I recognize the working. I recognize the ones that are taking the time to go public on social media, get their first coach, get their first customer, and really just focus on, the ones that are actually doing the things and it's clicking for them. And then a spark is lit and saying, wow, I'm doing something right. And it lets them know to celebrate all of the little milestones that are going to lead up to big success. Because as a new coach, you have to celebrate yourself. You have to celebrate getting on a call in front of 100,000 coaches. You have to celebrate getting on your team call, posting consistently for 7 days in a row, showing up for your fitness journey every single day, getting your first coach, getting your first customer, and knowing that these little milestones are going to lead up to that big vision, because everybody starts there. Everybody starts at square zero. So, if you're doing these things to simplify it for your coaches, and if you're doing it for, the sake of loving on them and showing them the way, and really just giving them the empowerment to say, you know what, if I could do it, you could do it too. Because I was the girl, like many of us, fearful when you get started. But being able to tear down your walls within your team page, being able to tear down your walls with your coaches individually, and saying, I know exactly how you're feeling, but this is exactly how you can overcome it and become successful successful just like myself, just like anybody else in this business, because it's possible. It's possible. All of this success is just to say that it's possible for you too, girlfriend, and being raw and real and honest with them. So I just want to make sure that there's no questions. That's really all I have for you guys. Let's see how I'm doing on time. Oh, cool. All right. I only went for 18 minutes. I was trying to keep it under 20. Okay. Thank you guys so much for hopping on and taking the time to listen to me. I'm gonna celebrate myself for a second. I did not swear one time. I'm so proud of myself. I have potty mouth. It's horrible. But I hope this was helpful for you guys. I hope that this is something that you guys can take away from. I'm gonna highlight the top 5 things one more time. Be personable and communicate with them. Be like a human. Let them know that you're here for them. Number 2, consistency. Lead from the front. Show them what's possible. Number 3, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Cut the fluff, saying these are your income producing activities. Number 4, give them the freedom to be resourceful and take ownership of their business and their life for themselves. And number 5, recognize them. Share with them the love, share with them the energy, share with them the things that make you feel good, and honestly, just create that kind of culture for you and your team. So hope this was helpful for you guys. If there is any questions, I will come back and I will come and respond via typing it for you guys. But I hope you guys are having a great Friday, and I'll chat with you guys soon. Bye guys.